YouTube, we in the building, man. You already know what it is, bruh. We back with another CEO video, another CEO reaction, man. Don't be judging over here. We're creatively optimistic. We do stuff that's weird. Get over it, bro. You're weird too, bro. You just don't think you is. You weird too, bro. You be acting like niggas ain't weird for real. You weird too, bro. Look, bro, we got the highlights and analytics of Biden and Trump first presidential debate 2024, man. If we in the United States, we gotta at least see. You know what I'm saying? We gotta at least see what happens. Even though I don't care, we're all doomed. Me personally, I believe in the Bible. I don't follow these rules down here. It's just so happened I'm in this situation. I didn't ask to be here. We were sent here. I'm just doing my role. We're screwed if we leave the power up to these two people right here. We're done. If you really think about it, we're finished. So it's best you get good with God, walk with God, and there's life after death. But I believe that we can have heaven on earth, and eventually we will, but not right now. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what they was talking about, bro. We got to at least tune in, you feel me? We all have our own opinions. This is the CEO Reaction channel, man. Let's get into it.
Stakes in this election couldn't be higher.
November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our...
I'll tell you what, though. Politics will get people there, bro. Politics will get people there for some reason. I don't know why.
This is a CBS News special, America Decides, the first presidential debate.
In the business, I'm joined by John Dickerson, Margaret Brennan, Ed O'Keefe, and Major Garrett on their take on tonight's debate and what, if anything, the American people may have learned that they didn't already know. Ed O'Keefe.
What the world?
What does your video sound like? Go to artlist.io and get the best music and sound effects for your video.
Now, please welcome.
I done clicked on the wrong video. If you're a real one, you would have stayed and watched. We not restarting, brother.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden.
All right. Hey, shh. The news is on. You remember those times when you was back at grandma's house and she would just be like, shut up before I smack you, nigga. We got the news on, nigga. Shut up. First question. Why does Trump believe top earners and corporations should pay even less in taxes than they do now? Good question. Yeah. Why does Trump believe top earners and corporations should pay less? Why would you want a nigga that's making billions and trillions of dollars not to pay more taxes? Make it make sense.
I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, he got $2 trillion tax cut.
There's no captions? Oh, we going to have to really tune in to Sleepy Joe.
Benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening?
That's wild.
They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, or 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million.
Let's be real. It's not that much. You acting like you can't go get your burger. You acting like you can't ride your Bentley. You acting like you can't ride your Rolls Royce. The rich doesn't even pay taxes. What are we talking about? Hey, I'm exposing it. The rich don't even pay taxes. What are we talking about?
Dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID.
This nigga is malfunctioning, bro. What?
Make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally.
Hey, listen. We respect Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? But this is ridiculous, bro. We gotta have this nigga have an interpreter, bro. This is ridiculous. You can't be the president of the United States and not say the sentence correctly and fully. You know what I'm saying?
If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in.
I'm sorry, y'all. Let me take this more serious. I'm gonna be pausing the life out of it. You better go watch it yourself. I'm gonna be pausing the life out of this video. All right, let's take this more serious, y'all. This is our country at hand, nigga.
They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
President Trump.
No, that's wild.
Staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Yeah. Answer that question, Donald Trump. Or you just going to kick the innocent out too, nigga? You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. I won't stand for it.
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last
Yeah, look at him like he's stupid.
few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and he just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know.
We are the most civilized country. What are we talking about? Well. Hey, we ignorant over here. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna say it again, nigga. Well, if you go to like Dubai, I heard, cause I ain't been to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? I heard it's like better civilization. You feel me? Hey, we might be on the back end though, low key. If you think about it, he might have a point.
He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military. And
listen, no military nigga really feels like the government cares about him. Let's be 100. All them niggas that went to Afghanistan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia. Listen, I watched the Sean Ryan show. If you don't know the Sean Ryan show, you're asleep. He interviews war veterans. If you don't know about the Sean Ryan show, I just put you on. I literally just put you on to great interviews about real life stories and war stories and all this other stuff. Listen, our veterans don't feel like nothing. We feel like we have been bedazzled and forgazled and fugazed, nigga. That's what they said. That's what the 10, 15, 20 people I saw said. So let's keep it 100. None of us care about our veterans. Let's keep it one band. Let's keep it a band. Let's keep it a band. Nobody cares about our veterans. You feel me? That's just what I have not yet come across a veteran that has said, yes, our country, I got out, my country took care of me, this, that, and the third. Never seen it. Haven't come across it yet. Just my experience. Haven't come across it yet. So what does that say? How are you going to change that? Trump, Biden.
And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in. And it's a very sad day.
And bro, first of all.
So many people at our border by allowing.
Your time is up. Your time is up. What are you doing? Why are you still talking?
These people to come in. And it's a very sad day.
This nigga is a real life criminal. Why is he still talking? You're breaking the rules again. Felony number 21.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie.
Yeah. Convict him again. Convict him, Biden. Convict him.
For example, veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it.
Yeah. Let them know the stats, Biden. Let them know the stats.
Happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day.
He hit him with the testimony.
And I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
Yeah, use emotion, nigga. Use emotion to get in his feelings, to get under his skin.
First of all, that was a made-up.
Hey, that was a good tactic. He used emotion. You got to understand what that was. That was a good move, Joe. That was a good move, Joe.
Suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up.
Bro took it to the media.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote. Suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up.
Shout out to all the people who trying to make it in the magazine industry, man.
It in commercials. We've notified them. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 50.
If we go to he said, she said route, we gonna be here all day. No cap.
One intelligence agents are
Nobody cares what you said, bro. It was in the magazine. Like, bro, we ain't never gonna really get the source. And it's on CNN. Oh, my gosh.
Just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking, it's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers story. He should apologize to me right now.
4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the lines. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history.
Yeah.
American history.
Stand on your 10, man. We ain't apologizing to you, nigga. Who are you? Who are you to be apologizing to when we help war veterans? Talk your mess, Joe.
And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you.
Hit them where it hurts, Joe. Use the analytics. Yeah.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him.
Let's keep it one band. We can't stand the government, bro. It's not even about you.
They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine.
That nigga hit him with the laugh.
We had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin. He would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the...
that struck a nerve. That struck a nerve in Joe. That struck a nerve in Joe. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Why did we just pick up and leave like that? That doesn't make any sense, bro. That don't make any sense. Do you know how, like, that's when we really started to wake up. Y'all blew it. The government, whoever the higher ups is that's controlling the universe, they literally set us up. They made a mistake. Now people are starting to wake up. How in the world do you just pick up everything and leave in the middle of the week when no one's expecting it, no one's talked about it, no one's debated about it, there was no uproar? You just pick your stuff up and leave. And then you leave stuff there. That's when people started to wake up. Let's be 100.
Competence that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost. But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost
billions. Is crazy.
13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And
it had to be more than 13.
We left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no...
That's a good conspiracy. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty dope. Is he saying that we just left and then Ukraine? No. Is he saying that we left the stuff there? Next thing you know, people started attacking. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That was a terrible move, Joe.
Terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
That's crazy. Hey, that's a crazy accusation.
Immerses you in a universe with...
That's a crazy accusation.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact...
Let him know, Joe. Let him know. Hey, you gotta come back with some fire though. That you gotta answer for that one.
The matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president, they attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place. Number one. Number two. We got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift.
I still don't like how you left.
Three,
Nobody
we found
does.
ourselves in a situation where, if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want, and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
Donald Trump, I heard you said there was a lot of promises you promised that you didn't keep. That's a L man's right there.
Former President Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO.
That nigga Putin ain't going home, bro. He lost too much already.
Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander.
I'm sure they can't stand you either, brother. They can't stand the government, period.
Chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on
Yeah, chuckle at him, nigga.
every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what.
I don't know about that one, bro. Encourage is crazy.
And he was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan.
Oh, he's sticking to that point for sure.
Where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind.
Didn't he say this already, or am I tripping?
When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded.
Didn't he,
in a million years by.
Am I tripping right now?
Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
President Biden?
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation.
Man, we done watched this already, bro. What happened, bro?
Remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I never said that.
For 1 minute, I just want to go back to my
I'm so lost, bro. We're going to just have to lock back in.
Original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
Acceptable. No, they're not acceptable.
Dang, the question not even finished, nigga. God dang, relax.
But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion.
$200 billion, bro? Bro, let me go ahead and address it now since it's on my head. Stop acting like the money's real. Stop acting like the money is real. Why are we acting like money is real? I don't get it.
A lot of money.
We are trillions and billions in debt. What are we going to pay that back or something? We're arguing about money that we'll never be able to pay back. I don't get that.
there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And
why do we pay taxes? We're never going to pay it back. We're never going to pay it back, bro. It's just stupid when you think about it.
Knocking him, I'm not knocking anything. I'm only...
It's for commerce. It's for trade. Why are we trading? Everything is free. Oh, I just don't be understanding, bro. Well, how else is the world supposed to... I get it. This is not my world. This is not my world. I'm just saying, though. Some of the stuff we do is stupid. How are we paying on taxes that we'll never be able to pay back in human history? Somebody explain. I don't get it.
The money that...
Nigga in the comments, give me a full lesson on that joint.
Spending on this war. And we shouldn't be spending... It should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then do you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens?
Why this nigga eyebrows? Well, not the nigga eyebrows. His eye wrinkles on the side of his head, nigga. It's like my joints. Are they on this side? Like. Or is them joints in the middle? Like his joints on the side, fool.
The Poland. What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do. Because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, and by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
What?
Yeah, speak on it, Trump. We need answers, brother.
I think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever.
What does Trump say to voters who believe he violated his oath of office on January 6th and worry he will do it again? Bro, how do you answer for this, bro? Like, this is who's trying to be our president, who's trying to defend what happened on January 6th. How do you explain that? There's no answer. They got inside. What if that was suicide bombers? What if that was ISIS? What if that was the Taliban? What if that was them? They can just walk inside. They can just bleach their skin and walk inside. If they really want them dead, they can just bleach their skin white and walk inside. There's no answer for it. There's no answer for whatever you about to say. There's no answer for it. And if you agree with whatever he's about to say, click off my video, please.
January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world.
So disregard the whole question and go into about your ego.
All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those?
That nigga Joe is in awe, bro. That nigga is in awe. So he didn't even answer the question for real. He just said about how good the question. Yeah, all right. This is why I see why niggas be in their feelings about politics. Because it's like, you can feel like your life is in these two people's hands right here, but they're not. They're not. They're not. These people, this government can't hold you. You're unstoppable. These two people are pawns on a chessboard just like us in the grand scheme of things. You have to understand that. You have to become CEO.
Voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech.
I don't even know why this question is still up right now, to be honest with you, bro. He's not even talking about it.
I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it.
Whole time, I'm not even talking about the right stuff. Listen, I'm just reacting to the video. We're CL.
And you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room office.
He most definitely did. Let's keep it a band.
Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and
yeah, lay in them, Joe. Lay it in them. Pause. Lay it in them. Pause. Yeah, shock them. You know what I'm saying? Put them in a headlock, nigga. There's no excuse for this, Trump.
Patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court. And they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing. And these people should be in jail. And they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to...
Joe, you got to calm down, man. You can't be getting too mad. You're using too much energy and we can't understand what you're saying. You have to calm down a little bit. You feel me?
All out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Look at his eyebrows. That's what I said. We all go die if he doesn't win? Is that what it is? Is that where it's coming to? Is that where we're going? Is that what's happening? This is my exact face right here. No, this is my exact face. If Trump doesn't win, we're all black people are fried. Is that what we're doing?
Be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a blood...
Yeah, call him a whiner. Yeah, you're a little whiner.
Let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done.
I don't like Trump. Okay. I see why we might have to go vote for Joe. Let's keep it a band. Look at his. If you are, oh God, nigga, if you have a brain, you can obviously see that Trump is not it. If you can't see that, you're mentally in a different realm.
Destroyed the lives of so many people when they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities. You go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing, the Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you...
I have no idea what just happened right there. I'm going to keep it a band.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at.
Yeah, get into that, Joe. Get into that. How are you a convicted felon standing on stage right now? Everybody, answer me this. If you see this, answer this question. How is Joe Biden a convicted felon on stage and black people in jail for rolling up a little blunt? Answer the question.
And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted.
They'll be like, oh, it's laws that go against the Constitution. No! There's no answer. It's a trick question. There's no answer for it.
Deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots, come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing, will you denounce these guys? Will you denounce the people we're talking about now? Will you denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political...
Ooh, yeah. I seen that nigga take a pause, swallow.
...with you tonight.
Look
Can you
at
clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after...
He don't want to answer that.
...political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the...
Yeah, look at him stupid, Joe. Look at him stupid. Look at him stupid.
His Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the...
Ooh. What you do, Joe?
The border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said...
You saying you did nothing wrong? That is our president, bro. No accountability. None. Zero. He didn't do nothing wrong? Wow.
I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong.
I wonder if these two actually hate each other, or is they like cool on the side? Is this like business type joint? Like, will these niggas, will they go out and get a hamburger together or play golf together? Or is this like business type joint? You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they actually don't like each other.
That you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public?
Woo! Go in on him, Joe. Pause. Go in on him. Pause. Yeah. Hey, if my shadow was in this video, it would be CO. If you don't know what the CO shadow is, man, go to my other videos, bruh. I'm trying out a new angle right now. You feel me? I'm trying out a new angle. Yeah. But you feel me? Yeah. Talk about the molestation. This is this is who y'all want to be president? It can't be. It can't be.
The crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star?
Oh! Bring it up. Let's go down the list. Let's go down the list. What you do for real? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Defend yourself, Joe. They calling you sleep, but you really got them hands. You really woke with them. Don't let them call you Sleepy Joe. You feel me? Oh. I don't know why I got so much energy, but this is just how it is right now. You know what I'm saying? This is just how it is. You feel me? This is wild. This is why we watch confrontational stuff on the channel, because it gets us out of our element.
No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public?
Oh my gosh.
Doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star.
Oh my gosh.
While your wife was pregnant.
Woo!
What are you talking about? You have
He put him on fire.
of an alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one.
That boy capping. Listen. This dude is a billionaire. Let's stop the cap.
Alley cat.
Give you a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started.
First of all, why does it even matter? Why is we even talking about where his thing been for real? You know what I'm saying?
And they moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's
The molestation is crazy though.
office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history.
How is this defending you molesting a child, man? This isn't good enough.
Of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam, and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address
I just thought about it. This video gonna get copyrighted like a mug. No cap.
concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate.
Yeah.
And I'm the oldest.
Talk about your age.
I was 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he
Can't fight the analytics.
me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises that we are growing. By the way, we brought an awful lot of people. The whole idea of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and to bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States. And guess what? Those fabs, they call to build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about 40
Listen, you don't want to go business to business with Trump. He's gonna kill you every time.
billion dollars already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating
That's why his face is like this nigga look like a duck.
significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America for all our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us. All of our allies and those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, who he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82
Yeah, Joe, hit that button for real. You know what I'm saying?
at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions.
He said I took a cognitive test. Now that is funny. No, that's too funny. That's too funny.
Yes, I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
Joe look funny, bro. Oh my gosh.
I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's...
Oh, so now we starting to Joan it. Okay.
Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you...
Hey, fool. No, they taking low blows now, bro.
Well, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap. Yeah.
We are not talking about golf while the Ukraine and Israel and Palestine is going through stuff right now. What are we doing?
8. Never. But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to.
What are we talking about?
Let's not act like children.
To a specific concern that voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be
That's a lie.
at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make...
This nigga said, ha, 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 ha. He set it up for the slogan.
America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're.
Let's keep it a band. Let's keep it 1K. Wars will never end. They will never end.
To World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
That's true. I don't see no motion with you and the other, country leaders. You feel me? At least Trump is a businessman. Let's keep it 1K. Trump is a businessman. He can get us there. Let's keep it 1K. But he's also a convicted felon and a cheater and a liar and a stealer and all this other stuff. What do we do? This is why I don't partake. This is why we're doomed either way we go. Talk about some, you're still supposed to have the lesser, bro. You're still supposed to vote for the lesser person. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? There's a living God out there, and you want me to worry about these two gentlemen right here?
On a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all, and required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for...
Yeah, make it cinematic.
Follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it.
He's a good businessman. Oh, talk your man. What you say?
They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it.
Ooh, they knew not to do it. They knew not to do it, bruh. Don't touch it. You hear me? Nigga said, what? Aha. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me.
I don't know, bro. I kind of believe him right there. Something in me believes him right there.
And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia.
Dang, that sucks. And we're sitting up here talking about golf. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting up here talking about who has a better swing.
Have never attacked if I were
President Trump, the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair...
Trump hasn't been answering the question straight all night.
Legal and good election? Absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
We'll be
Woo!
Are you tired of?
Something snapped in that boy when he lost, man. Just like every other video. We gonna like that video. Hey, make sure y'all like my video. Make sure y'all comment on my video, man. Hey, I forgot I was recording like that. This day look good. Hey, I might go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, make a couple of clips for y'all on the Instagram, man. I don't know what I'm going to do, but shoo. You know what I'm saying? I look good. You feel me? I'm going to see y'all in that video, man. Like, comment, subscribe on my video, bro.